The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. Now today we got to make a video a little bit sooner than we like. The market hasn't closed yet, so I won't be able to cover Tesla earnings, but let's break this down, what we're looking at and overall where we're at. Now we talked about yesterday getting back above 1742, this level right here, the gold line. These are our big levels, right? You get above that and you have room to start moving, and guess what happens? You go into a lot of our minor levels, 1747, 1726. You're moving with a lot of strength. That's what we were talking about. You get in this level, there's less liquidity. Giving you a for instance, right? Let's just really quick, you bring up the VPVR. We go back here, as you can see, between our level 1742, 17.4-ish, all the way into this level, almost 17.7, there's not a lot of liquidity. Okay, very important to identify that. We go back even here to look, and you can see again very clear. It gets even less as you get back into 17.8. So that's where we're kind of moving into right now. Okay, now also two other things to remember going into this week. Now we're looking strong on indexes, but we have earnings today. We have Tesla tomorrow morning. We have Boeing tomorrow afternoon. Meta, IBM, those are big. LRCX for cryptos. And then boom, and Thursday, those are our big boys. We have Microsoft, Google, Intel, and this leads us into, early next week as well with Apple, Amazon, even Nvidia the week after that, I believe, AMD. There's a lot of big earnings. So again, like the next 5 actual trading days are going to be massive for the market of understanding what's really happening here. Now we look at the economic calendar. There's not too much happening here. Today we did have home sales data, which I'm not gonna lie, kind of shocked that home sales were up. That was wild to me. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so tomorrow, not too much coming in. Thursday we have GDP, and then of course on Friday we got PCE. PCE on Friday. That's gonna be the big boy. What you got to be paying attention to. That's got to be the big thing that you're looking at is PCE. Okay, now going back into Nasdaq, what are we looking at? Now you're getting back on our range, and what we're looking at here, pushing back into around 17.7 locally. Okay, and then 17.9s after that. So 17.7 is kind of where I think we're going into, and that's going to be our next kind of level, right about there. So that's where we're at. I don't expect a lot of movement tomorrow, at least to the upside, unless like Tesla really surprises and Boeing and things like that. But I think we're going to be kind of stagnant. Speaking of trading, if you've been using a basic investing app for the past few years, I highly recommend that you step it up and graduate to a better investing platform that can grow with you, which in my opinion is today's sponsor, Moomoo. Like other platforms, Moomoo has a super intuitive user interface, really easy to use, but unlike the other platforms, they have everything that you're using right at your fingertips. Whether it be your analysis tools, up to the minute live data on the markets, what's happening with options data. And it's worth mentioning, while other platforms charge a premium for the quality of data that you're getting here at Moomoo, Moomoo does not charge a dime when it comes to getting live data on the charts. So for any of you that are serious about your investment journey, Moomoo's platform is worth checking out. The link is down below. It helps me out, it helps you out. If you have any questions, comment down below. Let's get back to the video. / choppy into most of the day tomorrow. Okay, now we know Wednesdays aren't typically our best moving days on the market, volume wise or anything like that. And you can even look at volume here on the day. Like volume hasn't been like the greatest. It was okay, but it's not the greatest. It's going into power hour right now, 41 million. Volume's pretty like stagnant, right? So you're just sitting back on our range. So I don't think volume is going to uptick into tomorrow either, just because we have earnings really starting, in my opinion, tomorrow. Meta, that's gonna be the big boy, right? So again, that's where I kind of see us top side into tomorrow. Highs I see us going is into 17.7 unless there's some crazy news in the after hours, but I can see us coming back down to 17.4, 17.47, 17.45 on Nasdaq. ES in particular, I always recommend using futures over S&P and QQQ, but you can do what you want to do. You can see you broke the lower high trend you were making. You got back above some major levels, and on the S&P, you got above a huge level, your previous 2022 high, January 3rd, 2022. You zoom back in here, you can see we're getting back above that level. All you want to see on ES here is a break, a retest, and just holding. You hold that, you can move back into 51.30, move back even higher than that. So that's all you're watching here to be bullish. Now, again, the chart here is clear. You break below, looking for continuation. You hold above, you're looking for continuation, right? That's all you want to see, the reaction to that level. That's all that matters. But again, I don't see crazy movement going into these big earnings on Wednesday and Thursday. Now, if let's say Wednesday after hours, you have a great Meta or terrible Meta earnings, I think that will dictate the initial movement going into Thursday, and then we'll stagnate again until those big earnings occur again. Okay, so just understand that. SPY, QQQ giving you a visual. SPY is getting back above our key level, 504. We talked about that. That was the target into today. We mentioned that as well last night. Now, next target is 508. You get back below 504, you can start moving back down to fill the gap near 500. Understand that. QQQ. Okay, really simple. Getting back above 421, that's the level we talked about. Next level here, I have 432, but I think I missed a level for you guys. around right here, 430, 429.8. That's going to be our next level I'm watching. Okay, so that's where I'm looking at into, you know, maybe overnight if we get continuation. So things I'd be looking at there. But you're kind of in the middle of no man's land. Again, I don't want to start trading like crazy here. Why? Because we expect volatility into these earnings. Okay, I don't expect just straight continuation. You're still in the middle of no man's land because we haven't had these big boys, you know, report yet. The only big earnings that we've had so far has been Netflix regarding tech or anything like that. So again, that's what we're waiting for, to get the sentiment, to get the layout there, right? That's what we're reviewing right now. If you remember last earnings, remember Microsoft last earnings, remember Meta, remember what happened from Amazon? We went crazy. We were at a major breakout. So again, hit the brakes a little bit, big toe like SpongeBob on the brakes, and then we'll see where we're going from here. So again, you're just following the plan, keeping it steady, just not going crazy here. We had great trading days, right? I just want to give you a little bit of a visual. Now, Discord too, like you guys are always asking, when is it open? It's not open right now. We'll open it up on the 1st, so make sure you're paying attention. But like, I'm not taking, personally, or me or Jay are not taking crazy amounts of trades. We're just focused on the easy setups at hand. Like today, Netflix. All we want to see was a break above highs, continuation, 567, 575. Easy, straight push right into our level. You actually went a little bit higher. AMD finally took off, but he got above our key level, had to be really patient above 152.3. Going into AMD here, right? You're finally getting that opportunity to make some of these trades. And even here, you're not even getting the greatest movement. You're just kind of holding our key level we mentioned, and you're pushing back up. Like, they're not the greatest, but you just got to take what the market's giving you, right? You know, Jay's been going crazy with some of these. But again, it's as the market starts giving us volatility, either to the up, to the downside, like that's how we're able to trade. But when we don't have the volatility, when we're not operating according to our plan or operating in a clear box, then we're not going to focus on trading. So again, as I expect chop into tomorrow, I don't expect to take a crazy amount of trades. It's all about taking what's there for you, not taking what you think is there. Like that, there's a big difference there. So make sure you understand that as well. Also, too, I haven't really tweeted out today, but I'll have some more tweets tonight going over some stocks I'm liking, giving you a Tesla breakdown on the earnings. So expect that on Twitter. That'll be out there later. So make sure you tap in there. So those are the big things right now. Let's go into some equities and let's look at what's happening here. We're going to bring our Lux Algo indicators so we can quickly show you as well. So really quick, let's go into some names. Number one, Apple. So Apple, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but really interesting on Apple. So I mentioned yesterday that this got Bank of America's top rated stock buy of 2024. Apple, major support to 165 to 162, 162 to 160. So this is all buy zone for me long term. I think this is an easy buy on stock wise. Like, I think, again, someone was asking me about earnings. What's my, like, what I think about earnings this season? I think if I look at broad markets, I think, yeah, NVIDIA, semiconductors have a lot of upside opportunity. But I think if I look at companies value wise, I think that Apple has the most upside with the least amount of downside from these earnings. What do I mean by that? I don't think Apple has a lot of, no one expects Apple to do good, right? The expectation is for Apple to do bad. Apple has been getting away from China, which can't be said enough. They're moving into India, getting almost replacing all their production into that space, and they're also establishing a new market. I like what Apple's doing. Now, they're not innovating on products. That's the downside here. But if they're perfecting what they've already been good at, this could get their numbers back to the upside. That's my opinion there. So long-term makes sense. Also, too, if you're interested in our indicators here, the link is down below for Lux Algo, code OD40 for any type of discount there. Microsoft. So I'm going to go over more earnings that we have this week. Microsoft came back down. I mentioned this literally like a day or two ago. You came right into your level down here around 397, 400. You established a demand down here too from Lux Algo, bouncing out of that area, right? The next level you're going to have is up here near 414. That's all you got to be watching. I mean, you could really start bouncing from earnings. You could really go above this level. You could really start getting crazy. So I would really stay focused on this one. So that's my personal opinion. I think Microsoft after earnings, a lot of potential upside. I think it's actually moved pretty stagnant in comparison to some of these other tech names. You've really been in a range since, late January. But again, if you break below 400, a lot of weakness, as you can see here, down to 388. There's like nothing there. And if you break back to the upside, things could get crazy as well. So what we're looking at there, Amazon doesn't report. I want to go over them. Let's go over Google. Google has earnings. Google has been a beast as well. Again, if you're looking at these earnings, Google and Apple, which are surprising here, they're the ones that I'm most excited about right now. Why? Google, for instance, they've been doing nothing with AI. Like their AI has been tragic. It's been trash in comparison to everyone else. But now finally, they have something going with Google search in their AI. They have something going with, partnering with Apple for Apple's AI and implementing it to their iPhones. They're actually going in the right direction now. This is the first probably like quarter that you've seen Google not have terrible news surrounding their AI, and they're supposed to be the AI guys. So I like Google going into earnings. I'm not buying Google. I want to make that really clear. But when you get these dips down to like 153 previous all-time highs, 151.5, those are opportunities, guys. And like when you look at this viewpoint on a higher time frame on the 4-hour daily, look how strong Google looks. Look at Qs. So Qs are actually pushing down, but Google's still making higher highs and higher lows. Do we understand the strength that's actually being displayed there? And I think that's where we don't necessarily connect some of these plays. I know some of you guys are like, Tyler, I just want to day trade tomorrow. I want a day trade set up. But I'm going to tell you, like I told everyone in Discord, I'm not like predetermining my trades in this market right now because we're getting volatility. It's more about taking where the strength is. Like today, the strength was with Netflix. That's why I traded it. I didn't go into the market and say, today's going to be just clearly strength for Netflix. I had to wait to see how we set up, see what buyers started to step in. So I got to do more longer term viewpoints here so it makes more sense and you guys can follow along in the long term. Tesla earnings here, probably my last one I want to cover. You came back into this 146 level was your gap fill right there today. You came into that level, rejected. I don't have high hopes for Tesla's earnings. I would love for them to surprise me and get back to being bullish. They've been one of my favorite stocks to trade. But right now, with interest rates so high, it's a terrible time to buy a car. They have to lower prices of cars. It doesn't seem like they're doing anything really new, different to fix this issue. So I don't know how Tesla beats. We'll see. The recall on Cybertrucks also wasn't a good look. We'll see what they say. But yeah, until interest rates come down, I think Tesla could be in a lot of pain, or until they get the automated driving as well. I can't think of the name right now. So that's what I'm looking at there. No reason to get crazy, no reason to go all in. What I'm looking at with Tesla, keep it really simple, guys. There's no reason to overcomplicate some of the things we're looking at. I got to make that really clear. This stuff is like right in front of us. Like it's very simple, very easy to understand. Going into Tesla earnings, that's what I'm really caring about. But again, I really think things heat up tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day that we're like, okay, the show's really starting. Meta, IBM, LRCX, and then Thursday, Microsoft, Google, Intel. I mean, that's half of your earnings right there that you're really watching. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm watching. If you have questions, comment down below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Discord spots open up on the 1st, so make sure you're ready. Twitter links down below as well. Have a good one, traders.